Okay, now we're gonna get started. Our first ribs we're gonna do is pork ribs. I have a spare rib that we're going to clean. We're gonna take the membrane off the back of it, trim it down. We're gonna season it with Robert's barbecue rub. Then we're gonna do Robert's all-purpose seasoning, and then we're gonna get it on a smoking hot grill. But the reason I like pork rib because it's the original rib, if you ask me. I grew up eating pork. I know a lot of people don't eat pork anymore, and for health reasons, religious reasons, and so forth. But I like that pork. I can't do a lot, but I love the pork. So we're gonna get started. And what you'll see me do after I clean it is season it liberally. And typically when you're doing a pork ribs or any type of grilling or smoking, you wanna season your meat the night before or the day before. Take it out so the seasoning has gone through there and it should be seasoned to the bone, not just on the surface. When it's seasoned to the bone, you almost don't need no sauce. But we're gonna use some sauce here because I made the sauce. I'm king of the sauce. So now we have our barbecue rib. We're gonna take it out the package. I have a boning knife. Boning knife is used to debone meat, get into small places where the traditional knife can't go. So we're gonna take off some of the excess fat. See this part here, you want to take that off. I am cutting the backside of the rib off, the hanging fat. Some of it will melt away, but it's almost, you cook it, it's going to be rubbery, a rubbery consistence. Now there is a membrane on the back of the rib, and this membrane actually holds the rib together. If you can't get it off, what I recommend you do is to just score it. So we'll just score it. When you score your meat, this membrane will cook away, and also it allows the smoke to get to the back of the ribs, and also the seasoning to penetrate to the bone. Fairly decent rib here, so we're gonna wash. So now we've washed our rib. So now we're gonna come and we're gonna lightly dust the rib with Robert's all-purpose seasoning. Just lightly dust it. And it's okay to massage your meat. Let it get in. Go to the bone, penetrates the surface. We're gonna flop it on the other side, do the same thing. So I'm not using a lot of Robert's all-purpose seasoning. Robert's all-purpose seasoning is what is all-purpose seasoning. So it's gonna add a layer of flavor to the meat, to the rib. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna liberally means I'm gonna use a lot of the barbecue rub. The barbecue rub does not have a lot of salt in it, but it has a lot of spices and flavor and texture. It's gonna help cook the meat, it's gonna help brown the meat. Get it all over. As I stated, it's okay to massage the meat. You're gonna play with it a little bit. Rub it in there. And typically you would do this the night before. Is you're gonna put the ribs on the grill. Take it and turn the rib side down, meat side up. Do the same thing. And my massaging technique is just pressing down on the meat, getting the spices in the meat. I always start with the rib side up first, because when you place the meat on the grill, you're always going to place the meat like this, with the meat side up, the rib side back down, and actually the heat penetrates the rib and actually cook the meat. My technique is I will turn the rib on the meat side towards the grill one time, and that's the second process. I'll start them like this. Halfway through, I'll turn them down like that on the grill. Then it finishes with the meat side turned up. Well, Robert's barbecue rub, you can tell if it's not, it should be red, a dark reddish color, a burgundy red or a violet type of red. Because say you want to liberally season it, not overly season it, but just liberally season it. See that red color flavor? It's gonna help it cook as well. It's gonna help the smoke process as well. We got a really good blend of spices here. Quality spices. I'm gonna take this to the grill and place it on. The rib side down, facing the bone side down. When I say the rib side down, the bone side down will be facing the grill. So it's gonna cook like, it's gonna start cooking like this on the grill. Okay, now we got our rib. We're gonna take our rib and place it. Bone side down. Okay, now that we have taken pork spare rib off the grill, we're gonna let it sit for a second. And the reason why you don't wanna cut it immediately when it comes off the grill is because the juices will go everywhere. So you want it to set so it'll form back. And one thing I see most people do, they overcook their ribs. Anytime you can take the bone out of the rib and twist it and come out, that means it's overcooked. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just not the proper way to prepare a rib or a good way to eat the rib, because you want to pick up the bone and be able to eat the meat, chew the meat off the bone. It shouldn't just fall off the bone. So one way to avoid that is to don't overcook it. Don't cook it so long. And one of the things that I do, if my fire is a little hotter than what it should be, I'll take some water, put it on the coals, slow it down. Then another technique I use after it has started cooking, I'll take a pan, a soda can, a beer can, or a pie pan, put some water in it and place it on the grill so you got the moist heat. Your dry heat becomes the moist heat, and that's going to help it cook a little slower, and it's going to help it cook more effectively. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut my rib. So we got the This is the large end of the rib. Anytime you see that smoke ring, that pink, you got a good smoke on there. You got the bark, the crust is on there. See how that looks? It should be just like that. So a spare rib is a rib with the rib tip still attached to it. That's what a spare rib. A St. Louis style rib is a spare rib with the rib tip cut off. So that's what this part is up here, and that's why it's a big rib. So we're going to take some all-purpose, some original barbecue. We're going to rub it down. Here we got our pork ribs. We got them plated, we got them cut and plated, we got them sauced up. Man, it looks scrumptious. I'm ready to eat, y'all. Okay, family, we've completed our pork ribs. You saw me season them. You saw me put them on the grill. You saw me glaze them. You saw me cut them. You saw me plate them. So if you want some more information on the pork ribs, or get the sauce, or the rubs, or the seasonings, you can go to our Facebook page, you can go to our IG page, and remember, pork, the oink oink, that's one of my favorite ribs.